right now, and a contractor in Nixa, accused of ripping off customers, is no longer accredited by the Better Business Bureau. According to the BBB, 2 customers complained about Premier Exterior Solutions, saying the company didn't start or finish projects, never contacted them, nor provided a refund. The company also never responded to the BBB's inquiries, so the agency has revoked its accreditation for violating their agreement and not meeting the Better Business Bureau's standards. Putting crime into focus, an Ozark County man faces multiple felony charges for kidnapping his partner and child. Aaron Perry was arrested after a woman in the back seat of a vehicle told deputies he had broken into her apartment and had begun loading her child's car seat into his car to go to his home in Isabella, Missouri. The woman said once they were at Perry's home, he dragged her across the ground with a lanyard and assaulted her with keys. A Benton County Sheriff's deputy and his canine are recovering after being injured in a crash outside Lake of the Ozarks. The sheriff's office says a vehicle didn't stop at the intersection of Missouri 7 and West Dam Access Road and hit the deputy's car. Both the drivers and the canines suffered minor injuries. Jackson Mahomes wants his bond amended in order to have contact with 4 people who are considered witnesses in his aggravated sexual battery case. The younger brother of Patrick Mahomes was arrested and booked on May 3rd in Johnson County Court. The case involves an accident at an Overland Park bar in February. Jackson says he needs contact as part of his defense. He's scheduled for a court hearing later today. Well, the man suspected of being involved in the 2005 disappearance of American student Natalee Holloway while on a class trip in Aruba will be extradited to the United States. Jordan Vandersloot was never charged in Holloway's death, but and her body has also never been found. But he's accused of trying to extort money from Holloway's mother in exchange for information about where her daughter was buried. Vandersloot is serving time in a Peruvian prison for murdering a woman in 2012 and will be extradited to the U.S. to face extortion and wire fraud charges. Renewed calls on Capitol Hill this morning for gun control legislation. It comes just days after a mass shooting in Allen, Texas, when a gunman opened fire at an outlet mall, killing 8 people. It's been 19 years since the federal assault weapons ban expired. President Joe Biden now calling on Congress to pass a new bill, but some Republicans say preventing mass shootings doesn't require restricting access to guns, adding the problem is with gun-free zones and not enough law-abiding citizens being able to buy guns to defend themselves. Title 42, the pandemic-era public health measure that allowed the U.S. to quickly expel migrants due to COVID-19, expires today. The Biden administration is rolling out new rules meant to curb border crossings into the country, as the southwest border is already reporting a dramatic increase in asylum seekers. CBS News' Jared Hill is in El Paso, Texas with the latest.
Lines of asylum seekers grew along the southern border this week, with Title 42 set to expire tonight. Among them is Jonathan Gomez from Venezuela. He shared this video of his dangerous journey across 6 countries. We had to cross rivers filled with snakes and crocodiles, he says. But as people hope to enter the U.S., the Biden administration has put in place new rules aimed at curbing the numbers. Migrants are now required to prove they've applied for asylum online or through another country first. Violators face a 5-year ban from the U.S. and a felony charge.
Our overall approach is to build lawful pathways for people to come to the United States and to impose tougher consequences on those who choose not to use those pathways.
With people already sleeping on the streets, local officials here in El Paso are preparing for this potential increase in migrants with plans to use unoccupied schools as shelters.
We have all our facilities ready to go based on what we see when we see it.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott deployed hundreds of National Guard troops in riot gear to Brownsville, where volunteers are also providing food and assistance to asylum seekers who've been released.
We want their experience in the United States to be a good one, where they feel comfortable, where they feel safe.
The Biden administration has also announced plans to set up 100 processing centers in Central and South America in hopes of shifting asylum seekers away from the border. Jared Hill, CBS News, El Paso, Texas.
With the writers' strike now in its second week, Hollywood is seeing more fallout from the stoppage. Stranger Things, Saturday Night Live, and a planned Game of Thrones prequel, just some of the shows halting production as writers picket in front of major studios. About 11,000 film and TV writers have been on strike since May 2nd, pushing for increased pay and residuals for streaming. Writers also concerned about the potential impact of producers turning to AI to write scripts.
Or is a proactive set of protections to integrate the tool into their work so AI can be a benefit to, not a pale imitation of, human creativity.
Further potential disruption for the entertainment industry, with directors starting talks over compensation and the union representing actors expected to head to the negotiating table next month. The NFL schedule is set to be released tonight, 7 p.m. Central Time, but we have a sneak peek at a couple of the Chiefs games already. The Chiefs announcing their scheduled game in Frankfurt, Germany on November 5th will be played against the Miami Dolphins. So no Tyreek Hill coming back to Arrowhead to get shut down after all that trash he was talking. Why are we showing a highlight of the Chiefs throwing an interception? No! And an AFC Championship rematch between the Chiefs and Bengals. That will take place on New Year's Eve. And something that just came down in the last couple of minutes here by the NFL. On Christmas Day, the Chiefs will play the Raiders right here on CBS. That's on Christmas Day, and it will also be simulcast. Another Patrick Mahomes interception. Who's cutting these highlights here? Come on. All right. Chiefs play the Raiders Christmas Day. That game also simulcasting on Nickelodeon. Producer Blake and I are going to have a conversation after this about those highlights. All right, one Springfield home has a rich history rooted in the railroads that built the city. Many families have lived in this home over the years, but it starts with the St. Louis-San Francisco Railroad. The North Johnston Avenue home was originally built for a railroad clerk's family back in 1912. Its location was perfect as it was built to be close to the railroad company. Got a photo here of the home that dates back to around 1915 or 16. That home was to be built for the chief clerk of the Frisco General Superintendent there. So you can check out this story on our website to learn more about the history of the home and how the railroads shaped the Ozarks. And you'll hear from the current homeowner about what drew him to the house. An awesome series we have going on historic or relevant homes here in the Ozarks, and a lot more to come. So again, Chiefs schedule comes out tonight at 7 p.m. Another rumor out there right now, it was tweeted out by an NFL insider who's usually correct, but just put the disclaimer out there, nothing more than a rumor right now. Chiefs may be opening their season against the Detroit Lions on Thursday, September 7th. So the Chiefs would have the first game of the NFL season. That's the rumor, is Detroit. So we'll see, but Raiders, Bengals, and Dolphins so far.